So hi everyone, I'm going to be posting some bite-sized chunks of exercise, specifically Pilates for you during this isolation period. So a bit of kitchen Pilates. Today I thought I'd do just a little quick kind of warm-up flow into some abdominals with a few extra little bits thrown in. It's not very long, it's not too long, but it should just get some things firing up and get you moving. Okay, so if you have any injuries, just obviously be careful, be cautious, don't do anything you're not comfortable with. Okay, so without any further ado, let's get onto the mat. Okay, so starting facing the front of your mat, you're standing at the back of your mat, you've got your feet parallel, and you want to imagine there's about a fist width between your feet, between your knees, so your toes are pointing directly forwards. Just lift up tall out of the waist. Feel your ribcage lifting away from your waist to really create a feeling of space there. Shoulders rolled back and down. Nice proud chest and lengthening the back of the neck so the crown of your head is reaching up to the ceiling. Okay, so we're going to take an inhale, reaching the arms up like your morning stretch. And as you exhale, bring your arms down by your sides, chin to chest, rolling down through the body. You can soften the knees if your back feels a little bit tight here. Otherwise, keeping the legs completely straight, just as far as you can go. Don't worry if you're up here, that's absolutely fine. And then you're going to take an inhale, bend your knees over your toes without letting the heels raise. As you exhale, straightening the legs. You want to feel your neck nice and relaxed here so your head is hanging down to the floor. Again, inhale, bending your knees, and exhale, slowly straightening the legs. Feel that stretch going down the backs of the legs into the hamstrings, the backs of the knees as well. And two more. Inhale to bend, and exhale to straighten. Again, if you're up here, don't worry, that's fine. If that's as far as you can go, no problems. Inhale to bend, and exhale to straighten. Good. And then you're just going to take another just soft bend of the knees, pulling the tummy in as you go, as you inhale, and then exhale, slowly curling back up through the spine to standing. Stacking that spine nice and tall, looking straight ahead. Again, inhaling, reaching the arms up to the ceiling, growing tall through the spine. Exhale the arms down, soften the chin down to the chest. Again, rolling down through the body. And this time we're going to bend the knees as we go. We're going to walk the hands out in front of us. We're going to get slightly yogic here. Make sure your hands are about a shoulder width apart, and then you're going to press the heels down into the floor. So any yogis out there, you will recognize this as a downward dog. I like to use this because it's a good hamstring stretch. It also works the shoulders quite well. So while you're here, let's just do a few pointers. So make sure your heels are pressing down towards the floor, just as far as they can go. So that's stretching the backs of the legs. You want to imagine your shoulders drawing away from your ears, sliding down the body towards your hips. You want to hug your rib cage in, hug your tummy in, and lengthen the spine. You can relax the back of the neck slightly here. Okay, and you're pressing your chest back towards your feet, so you're really getting that stretch into the hamstrings. Okay, as you inhale, you're going to just rock forwards, bringing your weight over your hands, just hovering the knees off the floor a few inches. Make sure your shoulders haven't hunched up to your ears here. You want to slide them down the back. You're squeezing your tummy into your spine to support you here. As you exhale, pressing the heels back down to the floor and pushing those sit bones out behind you, pressing your chest back towards your feet. Again, inhale, lifting the heels, bringing the knees just off the floor. So you can see it's like almost all fours. You've just got the knees hovering a few inches off the floor. As you exhale again, pressing those heels down, sliding the shoulders down the body away from the ears. And we'll do two more there. So coming forwards, chest comes between the hands, knees come just off the floor. Inhale, exhale to press those heels down, shine those sit bones out behind you. And last one, inhale, coming forwards, keep that tummy hugged into the spine, that rib cage closed in. And then exhale back to your downward dog position. And then we're just going to take a moment to bend the right knee. Now as you bend that knee, you'll feel that right hip wants to drop down to the floor. So allow it to drop down so that your pelvis gets a nice tilt and you feel a deep stretch going down the back of the left leg. Now try not to hunch up your back here. You want to really reach the sit bones out behind you, lengthening especially into that lower spine. And then we're just going to swap legs. So right heel presses down to the floor. The left heel lifts and you'll see my hip drop there, hopefully. Tilting my pelvis, getting a stretch down the back of that right leg. Keep pressing that chest back towards the feet. Shoulders are still away from the ears. Do one more each side. So left heel presses down, right hip drops. Good, just really enjoying that stretch into the back of the leg here. And then swapping over, right heel down, left knee bends. This is just a stretch. Again, the backs of those legs tend to get pretty tight in day-to-day life. Okay, and now pressing both heels down towards the floor. One last push into that downward dog position, squeezing the tummy. And then we're going to bring our knees just off the floor. You're breathing freely here. Okay, now we're going to hold this position. If you need to take a tiny breather here, just place the knees down for a second. Otherwise, you're staying here. We're just going to get a few pointers to get into position nicely. So again, sliding the shoulders down away from the ears, hugging the rib cage into the spine, hugging the tummy into the spine. Think of the front of the body meeting the back of the body. Okay, make sure the knees are parallel, they haven't come out to the sides. Nice parallel position, a fist width apart. Okay, and the back of the neck is nice and long, the top of the head is reaching forwards. We're going to take an exhale, your next exhale, you're going to rock forwards, so your chest comes over your hands a little bit more, and then you inhale, sliding horizontally back towards your heels. So you exhale, give that tummy an extra squeeze, to come forwards. Inhale, rocking back to the heels. So you should feel the shoulders working here, definitely the thighs, the quads kicking in here as well, and of course the abdominals. Good, and we've got 5 more here. You can make this as small as you need to. If it's a bit tricky to come this far, don't worry. You can just move a few inches if the shoulders are struggling, if the abdominals are struggling. 4 more. Good, and you might feel your wrists. Your wrists will be working here. It's quite common for them to start feeling a little bit sore. Work through it as much as you can because you want to build up the strength in those wrists. Obviously, if there's any sharp pains, give them a little break. 3. I might have added one there, but let's go with it. 2 more. And then the last one, if you're still going, you're going to lean forwards, you're going to hold it there, so your chest is kind of really far between those hands. Hold there for an extra 4, squeeze the tummy. 3, shoulders away from the ears. 2, and 1. Coming back to center, placing the knees down. Let's just sit back on the heels so you can untuck your toes if that's comfortable for you. Sit your bum back on your heels, your knees can come a bit wide here. And just reach the arms forward, forehead down to the floor, and just take a couple of breaths there, just to lengthen that spine and give those shoulders a little break. Okay, nice deep inhale there to finish. And as you exhale, lift the tummy up into the spine and you're slowly curling back up to sitting, or nearly. Okay, give those wrists a shake if you need. Bring those knees back into parallel, so again, fist width apart, make sure your feet are the same behind you. We're going to continue a little bit more on all fours. So, bringing the hands forwards. Make sure the hands are under the shoulders, knees are directly under your hips. We're going to curl those toes under again. So, we take an inhale. As you exhale, draw the tummy into the spine and you're just going to lift those knees a few inches off the floor. And then with your right hand, you're going to gently tap your left shoulder. Try not to rock too far over to the left here, so you want to really minimise the movement in the rest of the body. You just inhale, slowly place the hand under the shoulder. Exhale, left hand taps the right shoulder. So you're really trying as much as you can not to move anything else. Inhale the hand down. Good, we'll do 6 more of these. Placing the hand down. tiny bit, that's inevitable, but you really want to try and minimize that. And 4, keeping those abdominals strong. Great. Last 3. Thighs are definitely kicking in now. And 2, gentle slow tap and slowly down, trying to collapse down. Last 1, tap and down. Centralize everything and then placing the knees softly down onto the floor. Sitting back on those heels, give the wrists a little shake. Okay, a little bit more on all fours. So we're going to start getting that abdominal connection a bit more technical, I guess. So, assuming your nice 4-point kneel position here, again, hands under shoulders, knees under hips. Okay, so we're going to keep a straight spine for this, so imagine you're like a table. Again, back of the neck is long, crown of the head reaching forwards. All we're going to do here is take an inhale and just let the belly hang down to the floor. As you exhale, you squeeze the belly up into the spine. Inhale, relax the belly. Exhale, squeeze it up into the spine. Now this might feel a little bit counterintuitive for some of you. Some people associate the tummy pulling in as more of a sucking kind of action. So you want to make sure that, imagine the air is coming in and out of your tummy. So as you breathe in, the air fills up your belly. And as you exhale, it's like you're squeezing that air out of your belly, rather than sucking in your belly. Okay, I know that's not what's actually happening, but we'll imagine that for the sake of this exercise. So inhale, fill that belly with air. Exhale, belly button to spine. Good, a few more of them. Inhale, and don't collapse the back down. You want to just make sure that it's just the belly isolating here. Exhale, squeeze it up to the spine. And 2 more. Inhale. Exhale. And last one. Inhale. And exhale. Now you want to hold this squeeze in the tummy, crunching it in. You're also thinking of the rib cage hugging in as well. So you don't want to have the ribs flared out at the expense of your whole posture. So ribs in, tummy in. Now this is the tricky part. You need to find a breath into the sides and back of your rib cage. So without letting the tummy go, you're breathing in to this kind of area. So it's like your back and the sides of your rib cage expanding. So staying in that position you're in, this is where the breath will be going. Inhale and exhale. So you're here. You inhale, no release of the tummy. You exhale, make the exhale draw the tummy even deeper into the spine. 2 more. Inhale and exhale. Last one. Inhale, expanding those ribs into the side, out to the sides of the room, and exhale, squeezing that tummy. Now holding that squeeze. Take an inhale. As you exhale, draw the tummy deeper into the spine. You're going to allow the lower spine to arch up towards the ceiling. So you're really focusing this on the lower spine. You'll feel it doming up to the ceiling. You'll feel it's like your tail tucking between your legs. So your pelvis tilts here. We call that an anterior tuck of the pelvis. And then you're going to inhale. You go the other way. You think of lengthening your lower spine, reaching your chest forwards and slightly lifting your gaze. So it's not collapsing down into the spine, it's a lengthening, and you're focusing that arch into the upper spine. So from about here. So you exhale, draw the tummy in, lower spine lifts up. And then you inhale, chest reaches forward, lower spine extends. I'm being quite technical here because it's easy to go into the upper spine on this part and sitting into the lower spine on this part. We're trying to get into the bits that don't want to move that way. Okay, just to increase our spinal articulation and flexibility. Okay, so one more of them. Take an inhale. As you exhale, tummy draws into the spine. You're arching up your lower back, doming that lower back. Obviously it does go slightly into the upper back as well, but it's all in the mind that we're keeping it low. And then inhale, reaching that chest forwards, extending the lower spine. Think of the sit bones reaching out behind you. And then just returning to a neutral spine. So nice straight tabletop. Okay, last bit here. If you need to give your wrists a shake, go for it. Okay, so same position. We'll take an inhale. As you exhale, draw that tummy in towards the spine, hug the rib cage in, lift the right hand and left knee off the floor. Now careful here, you don't want to sink into the supporting arm and leg. You want to create space for that arm and leg to lift. As you exhale, you're reaching the arm and leg forwards and to the back. And keep that rib cage hugging in, keep that tummy hugging in. Nothing else has moved, just the arm and leg. You're going to hold here for a few breaths just to feel that position. Now it's really common here to just sit into that lower back and sink into that hip and into the shoulder. And then you'll find that when you bring them down, there's no room. So just make sure as you're here that you're lifting up out of that supporting arm, out of that supporting hip. Now you're slowly going to bring that arm and leg down. You're breathing freely here, just keeping that tummy squeezed. There should be plenty of space for them to come in. And then placing them both down at exactly the same time, which is the tricky part. Other side. Inhale, prepare. Exhale, squeeze the tummy in, squeeze the rib cage in, lifting the left hand, right knee, extending them. Good, everything else stays still. Remember, you're not collapsing down, you're staying lifted. Push away from the floor. Holding there for a few breaths. Keep the shoulder away from the ear, keep the rib cage hugged in, extending that leg behind you. Don't take it too high, otherwise you're going to start sitting down into that lower back. Just think of the arm, the fingertips reaching forwards and the toes are reaching backwards. Great, and then we're just going to keep pushing away from the floor, making plenty of space for that hand and knee to park under the shoulder and hip. Placing them down exactly the same time. Okay, one more time, we're going to add a little bit extra into this. So inhale to prepare. Exhale, right hand, left knee, push away from, lift off the floor. Extending them forwards. Good, nothing else changes. I've got a plant in my way here, but inhale, take the arm and leg slightly out to the side without moving your whole body. So the body stays in the center, the arm and leg come out to the side. Exhale, extending them back into the center. And then inhale, plenty of space for them to come down under the shoulder and hip. Place them down exactly the same time. Great. Inhale, prepare. Exhale, left hand, right knee lift. Remember, you're pushing away from the floor, not collapsing down into that shoulder and hip. Extend them parallel with the floor. Inhale them out to the sides. Good. Get them both moving at the same time. You don't want to have your arm back here and your leg still straight behind you. You want to just move them out to about a 45-degree angle. Exhale, sorry, I left you hanging with the breath there. Keep squeezing the tummy in. And reaching through the fingertip and toe. Inhale, slowly bring them down. Making plenty of space. Pop them back down on the floor. Okay, great. So we're going to transition now into something slightly different. So extend your front leg, whichever one, let's say left leg. Extend it back behind you. If you have to do a different leg, that's absolutely fine. So extend that leg behind you. And then you're just going to let your hip open so that the inside of your foot touches the floor. Okay. Bring that right hand towards the camera a little bit so it's in line with the other knee. And then opening the shoulder, you're opening that top arm up. Okay, if this foot needs to swivel back a bit, depending on your hip flexibility, that's absolutely fine. So you're going to squeeze your bum in, kind of tucking your bum in. You don't want to burn your rib cage, so you're hugging your rib cage in. So you'll feel that tension in the front of your body and in the back of your body, and that squeeze sort of in the glutes under the bum here, into the glutes, sorry, and reaching the arm up. Push up out of that supporting shoulder. Now, if you're feeling fine here, should already be a bit of effort if you're already thinking of that toaster image. If you're feeling fine here, go ahead and lift that top leg up. So you want it to come kind of in line with your hips, sort of in line with the rest of the body. Great. So again, make sure you haven't released the tummy here, you're not sticking your bum out. You want to keep the bum squeezed in, the rib cage squeezed in. Good, that spine nice and long. And head also in line with the spine, which I wasn't doing just then, because I was looking at the camera. But it's going to be like this. So careful you're not doing that, or that, or that. Here, long neck. Okay, now if you're comfortable here, you're going to flex that top foot. We'll make that leg parallel, so your toes are pointing forwards towards your device. Okay, now make sure you haven't let the tummy go. You're going to do little circles with that top leg. So you're hinging at the hip joint. You're hinging here, circling in that hip joint. Careful you don't start moving the pelvis around as well. The tummy stays squeezed, that bum stays tucked in, the rib cage stays pulled in. And we'll do 4 more there. Keep breathing into the sides and back of the rib cage. 3, lengthen that leg away from you. 2, and 1. Good. And then just taking the hand behind the head, see if you can point that toe and just bring the leg forwards. Just as far as you can. Flex the foot, bring it back to where it was. We'll do 3 more of these. Pointing the toe, keep the tummy squeezed. Careful not to tuck the whole pelvis here. You want to keep those sit bones shining out behind you. And flex. 2 more. Might feel the glute kicking in a bit here. This bum here. Flex it back. And last one, point it forward. Flex the foot there. Little raises. Up, down. 7, 6, 5. Good, keep that tummy squeezed. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Good. Take that leg back to where it was. Place it down, and then we're going to just simply bring the knees together. That was a bonus round, that last bit, so don't worry if you didn't get there. Okay, so we're going to quickly get into the quads, the thighs. So I'm going to regret this because mine are already sore. We're kneeling up. Okay, reaching the arms forwards. Alright, I'm going to angle myself slightly more towards the camera. Okay, your feet can be together behind you. Knees are kind of to the outsides of your hips, so not too narrow here. Bit of stability. Shoulders are rolled back and down, and arms are just reaching out in front. Not too narrow, don't get all hunched in here. So just nice and relaxed, proud chest. Okay, I'm just going to give you a side view quickly, okay, so you can see what's going on here. So you stay where you are. I'm looking forwards here. Tummy is drawn in, rib cage is drawn in. We're lengthening that lower back, and it's like you're squeezing under the bum. So you're almost sort of tucking that pelvis like that. And that should make your tummy nice and strong for the rest of this exercise. So, tucking there, squeezing under the bum, shoulders back and down. Right, we're going to take an inhale, hinging at the knees. You're leaning back. Everything stays in line from your knees to your shoulders to the top of your head. As you exhale, those thighs pull you back up. Good, so you inhale to rock back. Keep the shoulders down, and exhale, squeezing the tummy, coming forwards. Good, keep going. Make sure you're not doing this and dropping the hips back. You want to keep this all dead straight. You're like an ironing board. Hinging at the knees, not the waist, not the hips or the waist. Another common one is doing this, a back bend. That's also not what we're aiming this is rigid. Good, 4 more there. 3, inhale back, but keeping that tummy squeeze, don't let it go. Exhale forwards. Last 2, remember the breath is going into the sides and back of the rib cage. You don't need loads of air here. Last 1, inhale back and exhale forwards. We're going to add some arms. So inhale as you go back, the arms are coming up. If this is too much for you, just keep them forwards. Exhale, bring them around and reaching forwards. Good, we'll do 5 more of these. Inhale back, exhale forwards. And here you've got to especially make sure that you don't pop the rib cage and stick the bum out. You want to keep that tummy strong. Good, 3 more. Last 2, thighs should definitely be kicking in now. Last 1, back, inhale, see if you can go a little bit further, and exhale, coming up, great. Bonus round here, so you're going to take your lean back, your hinge back, keep the bum squeezed, keep the tummy squeezed. Now this, you do get to release your hips a bit here, so imagine you're sitting halfway down, and then you squeezing back up into a pelvic thrust. So you inhale, let the bum drop down a bit, you exhale, thrust the hips forward. You're still keeping your shoulders, your weight back here, so you're not doing a seesaw like that. You're keeping your shoulders in place, and it's literally just the bum going down and up. Good, 5 more here. Thighs are dying, so I did some yoga this morning. And 4 more. 3. Thrusting, good, and 2. Keep those shoulders back and down. Last 1. And allow yourself to come up. And just sitting back on the heels, give those thighs a little nice rub, a bit of TLC there. Okay, so you'll probably still be facing the front. So this is where we are. Okay, we're going to actually swap sides on all 4s so we can just transition into the other position we did. So all 4s facing the other way. And then make sure that left hand is in line with the left knee. So this is all a straight line. The hand is sort of under the shoulder. It's not too far in, not too far away. And the knee is under the hip. Okay, the right foot goes back onto the tiptoes, and then you rock it over onto the inside of your foot, opening up that top hip. Pushing up out of this supporting hip, thrust your hips forward. You're opening that top arm, reaching up to the ceiling. Make sure you haven't collapsed into this supporting shoulder. Push away from the floor. Tummy squeezes in. The bum squeezes in to stop it getting burnt in that toaster. The rib cage hugs in. Also not allowed to get burnt. Okay, again, just check in with the head. Make sure it's not like this, 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 this. You want to keep the back of your neck long, the head is in line with the rest of the body. Check this arm as well at the top, make sure it's not floating back like this. You want to keep that hand in your peripheral vision so you can just see it there slightly in front of the body. Okay, remember if that foot needs to dial back a tiny bit, that's also fine. Okay, hips are stacked. If you're feeling comfortable there, give that tummy an extra squeeze. Lift that right leg up. Great, so we're going to make that leg parallel so the toes point forward, the foot flexes. Okay, keeping everything else nice and engaged, nice and still. We're going to do little circles there for 8. Great, 7. Keep these slow. And 6. Remember, you're keeping that pelvis completely still, not rocking backwards and forwards. 5. Careful not to pop the rib cage open to do this circle. It's literally just hinging in the hip joint here. 4. Nice. 3. Keep reaching those fingertips up to the ceiling. Everything nice and long and extended. 2. Last 1. Now hold it there. As you bring the leg forwards, you're pointing the toe. And then you'll flex flexing the foot back to where it was. Good, we've got 3 more of these. Inhale forwards, exhale back. And 2 more, inhale forwards, nothing else moves. Hinging here in the hip joints, not at the waist. Good, if the leg doesn't come as far forward as mine, don't worry, it can be tighter hamstrings. And last one, bring it forwards. Hold it there, flex the foot, little pulses, up and down. 7, 6, shaking is good. 5, and 4, 3, 2, and 1. Bring it back and control it back down. Kneeling. And let's just do a few shoulder rolls. So squeezing the shoulders up to the ears, sliding them down the back, up to the ears, down the back. Nice big circles. 2, really squeezing them up, let them go. And last one. And down. Let's clasp the hands behind the back. I'll give you a side view. Reaching back and down, opening that chest. And then you're just going to reach, see if you can bring your arms up a tiny bit there. Good, without compromising too much in the back there. You want to keep that, still keep that ribcage and tummy hugged in. Reaching back. Lots of space between the shoulders and the ears. Take the chin to the chest. And just leaning forwards, let those arms come up behind you. If that's comfortable for you, otherwise you can let them go. Deep breath there. And then as you exhale, draw the tummy in, rolling back up through the spine. I'm going to face you again. We'll just stretch the neck out a little bit. So just bring the chin down to the chest. And then just bring your right ear to your right shoulder. I'll do the mirror image here. So right ear to right shoulder, towards the right shoulder. It's probably not going to touch it unless you've got a very bendy neck. And then back down to the center. Keeping the neck nice and soft here. Other side. Keep the shoulders down. Might be tempting to hunch the shoulder up. You want to keep sliding it down. Down to the center. 1 more each side. Ear to shoulder. Feel that stretch going to the scalene and the upper trap there. And down. And last one. And then chin down to the center. Good. And then just interlace the hands behind your head. Lengthen the back of your neck. Draw your chin down a little bit further to the chest. Gently apply a bit of pressure into the palms, just to give yourself a little extra stretch in the back of the neck. Nice soft breathing here. Last inhale. Exhale, release the arms. Inhale, we're going to reach the arms up. Proud chest, looking up towards the hands. And exhale, open the arms. Nice and proud, lots of resistance. Good, energy flowing through the fingertips. Shoulders down. And bring the arms down. Well done, very good work, I assume. And I'll be back with more bite-sized chunks soon.